The NFL draft is here, and the Washington Commanders made their selection with the 29th pick in the first round, and they took offensive tackle Josh Conerly from Oregon. If you don't know much about this player, he's a phenomenal player, phenomenal talent that's just 21 years old. In fact, he turned 21 in November, so he's still a baby. He still has a lot of football ahead of him. Well, we talked to Adam Peters tonight as far as the pick, and I asked him specifically as far as Josh Conerly, as far as the competition that he went up against. And this is what Adam Peters had to say.
Outside of the talent standpoint for Josh, the fact that he went up against some really good players in the Big Ten, Abdul Carter being one, how did that help in your evaluation of him?
Yeah, that's a great question. That was something I failed to mention when I started the presser, but I think one, the way he competed against Abdul Carter, he went toe-to-toe with Abdul Carter, who's the best pass rusher in the draft. He did really well, and he did really well against a lot of really good players. He, played at Ohio State twice, and they were getting the break speed off in the second game, and he was still competing to the very last second, and that showed a lot. And just those types of things you see in him. When we have metrics where our R&D department does a great job of giving us metrics, how do they perform against high draftable players? And so he performed really high against high draftable players, and that lined up with what our eyes saw. And so those things make you really, not just his skill, but the fact that he will go toe-to-toe with those guys. He's not going to freak out. He's not going to panic. He's not going to do things that he doesn't normally do when he's face-to-face with a really great player.
So as you can tell, it's dark here. It's almost 1 a.m. We had a late night here, but there's excitement in the building, and I think a lot of people feel really good about the pick. Adam Peters said directly to us that Josh Conerly was the highest player on their board, so they were really excited about getting him. And I think that this is a move that shows that Washington's serious about building the trenches, because when you look at the fact that an Abdul Carter went to the New York Giants with the number 3 pick, and you look at the Philadelphia Eagles and what they did in the Super Bowl against the Kansas City Chiefs, that defensive line play is something that Washington looked at, and they know that they need to shore up their trenches on the offensive side of the ball. So competition will be a big part of this. If you don't like this pick, you don't like football. Let me just say that first and foremost. This was a really solid pick for the Commanders, something that's going against the norm. Not a flashy pick, but a solid pick. And Josh Conerly can come in right away and compete for a potential starting spot. So we're going to have a lot more tomorrow. There'll be another pick here, the 61st pick in the draft. Not sure if there'll be trade ups or trade backs, but we'll make sure we give you the proper information as it comes to us. So right here at Commanders Park, I'm Lake Lewis.